Don't you just love being outside and listening to the birds chirp and sing to you? I don't know. Maybe it's just Miss Taylor getting old. It could be. I have my wonderful cup of coffee here. Yes. Though my other two favorite mugs are, I think I left at the classroom. I'll have to get them. Mm, yummy, yummy. Let's read some Despereaux, all right? Roscaro went, as Bocelli told him he must, to torment the new prisoner and to take the red cloth from him. The man was sitting with his legs stretched out straight in front of him, chained to the floor. The red cloth was still draped over his shoulders. Roscaro squeezed through the bars and crept slowly over the damp, weeping stones of the cell floor. When he was close to the man, he said, "Ah, welcome, welcome. We are delighted to have you." The man lit a match and looked at Roscaro. Roscaro stared longingly into the light. "Go on," said the prisoner. He waved a hand in the direction of Roscaro, and the match went out. "You're nothing but a rat." "I am," said Roscaro, "exactly that, a rat. Allow me to congratulate you on your very astute powers of observation." He's a snarky rat, too, isn't he? "What do you want with me, rat?" "What do I want? Nothing, nothing for my sake. That is, I have come for you. I have come to keep you company here in the dark." He crawled closer to the man. "I don't need the company of a rat. What about the solace a sympathetic ear can provide? Do you need that?" "What? Huh? Would you like to confess your sins?" "To a rat? You're kidding, aren't you, rat?" "Come now," said Roscaro, "close your eyes and pretend that I'm not a rat. Pretend that I am nothing but a voice in the darkness, a voice that cares." The prisoner closed his eyes. "All right," he said, "I'll tell you, but I'm telling you because there ain't no point in not telling you. No point in keeping secrets from a dirty little rat. I ain't in such a desperate way that I need to lie to a rat." The man cleared his throat. "I'm here for stealing 6 cows, 2 jerseys, and 4 Guernseys. Cow theft, that's my crime." He opened his eyes and stared into the darkness. He laughed. He closed his eyes again. "But there's something else I'd done many years ago. Another crime, and they don't even know of it." "Go on," said Roscaro softly. He crept closer. He allowed one paw to touch the magical red cloth. "I traded my girl, my own daughter, for this red tablecloth and for a hen and for a handful of cigarettes." "Tsk, tsk, tsk," said Roscaro. He was not alarmed to hear of such hideous things. His parents, after all, had not much cared for him, and certainly if there was any profit in it, they would have sold him. And then, too, Botticelli Ramoso, one lazy Sunday afternoon, had recited from memory all the confessions he had heard from prisoners. What humans were capable of came as no surprise to Roscaro. "And then," said the man. "And then," encouraged Roscaro. "And then I done the worst thing of all. I walked away from her, and she was crying and calling out for me, and I did not even look back. I did not. Oh, Lord, I kept walking." The prisoner cleared his throat, and he sniffed. "Ah," said Roscaro, "yes, I see." By now he was standing so that all 4 paws were touching the red cloth. "Do you find comfort in this cloth that you sold your child for?" "It's warm," said the man. "Was it worth your child?" I like the color. Does the cloth remind you of what you have done wrong?" "It does," the prisoner said, and he sniffed. "It does. Allow me to ease your burden." And Roscaro, he stood up on his hind leg and he bowed at the waist. I will take this reminder of your sin from you, he said, and the rat took hold of the red tablecloth in his strong teeth and pulled it off the shoulders of the man. Hey, see here, I want that back. But Roscuro, reader, was quick. He pulled that tablecloth through the bar of the cell, whoosh, like a magic trick in reverse. Hey, shouted the prisoner, bring that back. It's all I've got. Yes, said Roscuro, and that is exactly why I must have it. You dirty rat, shouted the prisoner. Yes, said Roscuro, that is right. That is most accurate. And he left the man and dragged the tablecloth back to his nest and considered it. What a disappointment it was, looking at it. Roscuro knew that Botticelli was wrong. What Roscuro wanted was what he needed, was not the cloth, but the light that had shone behind it. He wanted to be filled, flooded, blinded again with light. And for that, reader, the rat knew that he must go upstairs. So, Roscuro can be a mean old rat. That's what he is, isn't he? Botticelli is certainly not a good influence. I would say he's a bad influence. And the light, it's amazing. Think about it as Christ. Once someone has seen the light or they know of the light, they continue to desire it. Once you ask Christ in your heart, you desire more of him. And there are times when we sin or we don't ask for forgiveness and we may feel that we're away from the Lord, but that light is there. And we strive to want more light and we want to be like the light, comforting, peaceful. I like that. All right. That was chapter 18, right? All right, chapter 19. Imagine, if you will, having spent the whole of your life in a dungeon. Imagine that late one spring day, you step out of the dark and into a world of bright windows, polished floors, winking copper kettles or pots, shining suits of armor, and tapestries sewn in gold. Think you died and went to heaven, huh? Imagine, and while you are imagining things, imagine this too. Imagine that at the same time the rat steps from the dungeon and into the castle, a mouse is being born upstairs. A mouse, reader, who is destined to meet the light bedazzled rat. But that meeting will occur much later, and for now, the rat is nothing but happy, delighted, amazed to find himself standing in so much light. I, said Roscuro, spinning dizzily from one bright thing to the next, I will never leave. No, never. I will never go back to that dungeon. Why would I? I will never torture another prisoner. It is here that I belong. The rat waltzed happily from room to room until he found himself at the door to the banquet hall. He looked inside and saw gathered there King Philip, Queen Rosemary, the Princess P, 20 noble people, a juggler, 4 minstrels, and all the king's men. This party, reader, was a sight for this rat's eyes. Roscuro had never seen happy people. He had only known the miserable ones. Gregory the jailer, who was consigned to his domain, did not laugh or smile or clink glasses with the person sitting next to them. Roscuro was enchanted. Can you imagine what he was thinking? Wow. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Everything glittered. Everything. The gold spoons on the table and the jingle bells on the juggler's cap, the strings on the minstrel's guitars, and the crowns on the king and queen's heads. And the little princess, how lovely she was, how much like light itself. Her gown was covered in sequins, and they winked and glimmered at the rat. And when she laughed, and she laughed often, everything around her seemed to glow even brighter. Oh, really, said Roscuro. This is too extraordinary. This is too wonderful. I must tell Botticelli that he is wrong. Suffering is not the answer. Light is the answer. And has made his way into the banquet hall. He lifted his tail off the ground and held it at an angle and marched in time to the music the minstrels were playing on their guitars. The rat reader invited himself to the party. Now, what do we know about, if you're at a really nice restaurant and you see a rat coming in, not so much a nice restaurant anymore, is it? So he invited himself into that party. Wonder what's going to happen there. He's not scurrying. Remember how Furlough was trying to teach Desborough to the left, to the right, scurry, scurry, scurry? And he's not doing that. He's marching in and dancing to the beat of the music that he hears. All right, so you have page 18 and 19. Looks like this. And it's very specific. It wants you to make a prediction as to what you think is going to happen. Predict what will happen if Roscaro is spotted at the dinner party. And at this rate, if he's marching into the music and he's dancing, chances are he's going to be spotted, right? Okay. So they want you to use an illustration of Roscaro below as a starter and draw your prediction around him. So he's walking in, he's dancing to the music, and you have to give me 2 or 3 good sentences as to what you think might happen.